In this series, we've been taking filthy motors and making them showroom fresh again. But there's a problem with this one. It's already super shiny. So how do you improve on perfection? Well, we're about to find out. Today, we'll be trying to clean a car that's already clean.
Just like when you wake up and you brush your teeth and wash up, same thing, go to the garage, you wipe it down.
Get a bit philosophical.
We're able to connect with our kids through lowriding. It's a bond that's unbreakable, man.
And getting carried away when cruising.
I believe it's a way of living, it's a way of being, and it's a way of representing yourself in the best way possible.
These are Lowriders. They are the rolling artworks of Planet Car. The interesting thing is that they come in all shapes and sizes, but one thing they have in common is that they're all kept immaculate, because Lowrider people are some of the proudest on planet Earth. Lowriders. They might be known for insane paint jobs and hydraulics, but there's a fair bit more to them than that. Back in post-World War II California in the Southwest, hot rod culture was in full swing. All about speed and performance. But another tradition was forming, particularly within the heart of Mexican-American culture, one that prioritized self-expression, community, and driving low and slow, a reaction against the pursuit of speed. These were lowriders, art on 100-spoke wheels. Hydraulics became common, allowing these artists to raise and lower their cars at will. And as that progressed and evolved, these hydros became more complex, allowing for three-wheel motion, bouncing, and even hopping completely off the floor. But one thing remained, the cars as art. Paint jobs that were pure passion, reflecting the culture that gave birth to them. Candy paints and metal flake, murals and hand-painted pinstripes. Lowriding is a movement rather than just a piece of metal. And they come in all shapes and sizes.
My name's Eric Ramirez, born and raised here in LA. This is my 1985 Chevy Monte Carlo SS. There's different ways you can describe a lowrider, but the traditional lowrider would be like your Impala on 13.7s, 14.7s, 520s, Whitewalls.
My name is John Magoo. I drive a Chevy 1956 Bel Air. This is a Tri-Fi traditional lowrider, hydraulics in it, Dayton wire wheels, Continental kit, sun visor, all the extras, all the accessories on it.
My name is Arturo RC, and this is my 1939 Master Deluxe. This is some grown man lowriding. Completely different ride, man. You get looked at differently in this car.
The thing that you're seeing a lot of right now is more G-bodies, more of this style, because it's a little more affordable. You can get a G-body for, 10, 15,000, fix it up, set of wheels for a couple $1,000s. But when you're doing a traditional like 62, 61, you're talking about a project car that's gonna be in the 20s of thousands.
It feels really good when you're out there, driving. It's like a time capsule pretty much. It feels like you're in your own world, but also the community around you, wherever we cruise to or something, that it's all eyes on it, you feel good driving through.
I didn't even realize what this car really was till I drove it. I would see bombs driving out there and they look crazy, man. They look gangstered out, man.
Cruising, I want to say, is something that we do when we have some free time. I say about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock when the sun starts going down, and we bring them out. And you can see all the reflections on the, the sunsets, and we park somewhere in the shade somewhere, wipe our cars down, maybe have a barbecue or something, and just enjoy the rest of the day,
But once you get behind that wheel, man, and you put those oldies on, and when you're rolling deep with your homies, and oh my goodness, there's nothing like it. It's so therapeutic, man.
They're trophies for us. I've been doing it for, I want to say, most of my life. I'm 55 now, so I've been doing it since I was like 17. So I say I'll be doing it for the rest of my life.
But the lowrider community isn't static, it's constantly evolving. And the younger people in the scene are changing things up.
The new generation is low rods, which is big wheels on like G-bodies such as this, C10s, El Caminos, things of that nature. It's about community, and it's something that's handed down from grandfather to son, from son to son to son. It's a generational thing.
When I look at the youngsters today doing it, man, they're on some positive stuff, man. It's not like low riding was like back in the day, you know, there was a lot of gangs involved and stuff, you know, and like that kind of activity. I don't really see that with today's youngsters, man. You know, I see them on some positive vibes. A lot of my friends, you know, we all have kids. We're able to connect with our kids through low riding. It's a bond that's unbreakable, man. You know, like to see our kids take on our tradition, man, it's great.
And if you want to know what the kids are doing, then why not ask the kids? This is Lefty, an artist and scion of low-riding royalty. His dad is Mr. Cartoon, and Lefty has literally grown up around the low-riding culture his entire life. So he took me on a little cruise to find out a bit more. So Lefty,
Yes.
what is low-riding?
Lowriding to me, I believe, is more than just a lifestyle. It could be now considered an art form,
Okay.
carried on through family, tradition, and culture. I believe it's a way of living, it's a way of being, and it's a way of representing yourself in the best way possible. You know, as a kid, I remember at the car shows, since I was 1 year old, being pushed around in a candy painted stroller through the car shows. My parents just started me out young, introducing me to the style, the fashion, the music, and most importantly, the lowriding. But I feel like now with my friends in modern time, you know, who are now starting to get more introduced to these type of cars, and they're seeing a different side of how it's treated and how it's represented. If it talks to you, it speaks to you, and it makes you move, and it's something that's drives you, I think that's the most important concept and belief that you could have.
Do you feel your generation is moving away from the old heads? Like you're rolling different cars, you've got a different style, but is it still respectful to the old ways?
With the youth, we're able to just take it to a different perspective and elevate it to that level where it can be treated with lots of care and respect. And also the way it just makes you feel, the overall feeling of being in a lowrider and the message behind it and where it wants to take you. You know, once you put the keys in the ignition, that's where it all begins.
So the scene is changing, and it's fascinating how the sons and daughters are moving the game along. But one element remains. You have to keep your car looking on point. After all, what's the point of a superlative paint job if you don't show it off? Because keeping a lowrider cruise ready isn't the work of a moment.
Just like when you wake up and you brush your teeth and wash up, same thing, go to the garage, you know, you wipe it down, clean the white walls, keep them clean, you know, just maintain them, and maybe clean the white walls once in a while because they do turn yellow if you let them sit, so you gotta keep, it's good like keeping your shoes clean or anything else. You wanna clean your tires clean and your wheels clean. Keep it covered in the garage.
It's a headache. It really is, man. It's a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money. You know, you're always going through it. You know, you gotta have your detail guys, you know, your motor guys, you know.
So we're going to learn how to give a lowrider some proper TLC, and to do that we have this Penny Lane. It's a proper old school lowrider, but also a world famous car in itself. I really want to do a good job here, so I'm going to need some help. This is Mike Chacon, kind of a legend in these parts because Mike is an LA detailer that specialises in lowriders. He's the guy that owners go to when they want the job done properly and don't have the time, so he's going to show us some of the tips and techniques it takes to keep a low in show shape. If you want a professional job, you go to a pro. Now, Top Gear speed cleans are all about being lightly practical. So we've only got 4 hours to sort a car out and give it a shine, using products and equipment you might have at home. With a lowrider, they generally start out clean, so it's a matter of constant maintenance. So Mike, what's the first thing we got to do?
So first thing we got to do is bring her up to get to the wheels.
Okay, well let's go and get the kit.
Yep. All right, so first things first, we got to get these tires and white walls cleaned up, and then we got to get the Daytons cleaned up. For the white walls and tires, I'm going to be using the all tire cleaner and prep, and then for the Daytons, I'll be using the all wheel cleaner. So let's get to it.
Now, the Dayton wire wheel is famous in lowriding circles as both the classic fit and the best of the best. The company was founded in 1916 in Dayton, Ohio, and came up with the wire wheels as a way of offering a strong but lightweight rim in larger sizes. In fact, the Ford Model T had Dayton wires as options for the standard wood spoke rims. They suited the classic look of a lot of vintage lowriders, and with the centre knockoff nuts became a must-have. And yes, they still offer 100-spoke gold-plated wires to this day, and they are complicated to keep clean.
So normally for the spokes, I would have my air compressor, but today I got my blower. So let's get these spokes cleaned out. And last but not least, we're gonna use some tire coating to shine up the tires.
Like this car, it's gone through like 10 sets of rims. And I think I've driven it 3 times. And every set of rims goes through a set of tires. So it's like, you're always evolving. And that's the evolution of lowriding.
All right, so next we're gonna do the chrome. To me, the chrome is the most important part of this car because it makes everything pop. If the chrome is dirty, you're not rolling right. So what we're gonna do is use the quick detailer spray to get the dust off and such, and then we're gonna use the all metal polish to get the tarnish and oxidation off. So we don't usually use water on these cars because it could get in the crevices, could cause rust. So what we do is we keep it maintained and we keep it clean every day. So what we're gonna use is a quick detailer on the paint job and just get the paint shined up and we should be good.
There's a lot of respect when it comes to low riding, primarily in how you're supposed to treat the car, the way it's approached with care, love.
You gotta invest a little bit of time and a little bit of money in doing your homework on it. The good thing about the products that we're using, they were built around these custom candy paint jobs, these murals, these pinstripes. It's, you know, catered specifically to your vehicle's needs.
All right, so next we're gonna do the interior. We're gonna focus on the leather, stay away from the suede. What we're gonna use is our LVP cleaner, so leather, vinyl, and plastic. I'm gonna use this brush and use a microfiber to wipe it down.
Every car that we get, as soon as it comes off the lot, it's like tint the windows, put a system in it. It's a never-ending project.
That's another part that's great about it too, the unity in it. Everybody's in it for the love of the culture, man. You know what I mean? They want to see your car out there. They want to say, I worked on that car. I detailed that car, you know. Lowriders want to help other lowriders, man, you know?
So what have we learned? Well, lowriders never really get wet, the cars end up as family members, and even though lowriding is evolving, it seems to be in good hands.
So there you have it. Lowriders are some of the cleanest cars in the world because they never really get dirty. For the people that own these things, cleaning your car is like cleaning your teeth. You just do it every day. And if you want a car that's as immaculate as this, then the recipe is actually fairly simple. Time, effort, and a whole load of dedication.